Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I am very excited to be checking out the second most popular project on all of games, that is Sea of Legends: Vengeance of the Empires, a new expansion for Sea of Legends, along with a reprint of the original and expansion. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is always what you as a Kickstarter company are hoping to get. That juicy second print run where you have the good reviews, you have all the buzz from the original game, but now you have an expansion and you're doing another print run of the game. So this is what they're hoping for. They raised $126,000. Awesome. It's funded. I will say right from the jump, I'm looking at here, I see large minis, and I see some dice, and I see it looks like a pirate game. Nothing here is really, I feel like, wetting my whistle, aside from the fact that, like, yeah, okay, it's good enough that it's got an expansion. So maybe something I think on the front could be spiced up. What kind of game is this? Is this cooperative? Is this a solo game? You know, is this a head-to-head? Like, I need to know more information about your game aside from, hey, it's a piratey themed game. But as always, when we go in the video, I'm thinking three things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Let's go.
Return to an age of piracy, magic, and monsters. Return to Sea of Legends, where every captain has a deadly crew, a lover on their arm, and a nemesis.
I would appreciate some subtitles here, because I didn't hear that last one. I heard lover or lar.
Lover on their arm, and
what do they got? Wait, what do they got?
A lover on their arm.
A lover of lar.
Has a deadly crew, a lover on their arm.
I hear a deadly crew and then a lover of lar. Which is why, you know, but if I had subtitles here, my brain would connect the word to that instead of just focus on the lar. But this is cool. I love the fact that we've just dived straight into what the game looks like, the cards, the components. I love that.
And a nemesis plotting in the shadows. But it's the other pirates that you really have to watch out for. The tit-for-tat of treachery creates the stories told in taverns across the Caribbean. But those stories will become legends, as pirates have to deal with royal fleets, ghost ships, the mighty Kraken, and everything else the sea can throw at them. And tons of new stories in the updated narrative app. What legends will you create?
I like that shot right there, and I like the fact that they just at the very end tease, like, hey, there's a bunch of text in this as well. So you're going to be getting stories with this.
What legends will you...
A lover on their arm. Thank you.
...create in Sea of Legends?
Ooh, that's a nice shot right there as well, showing me what I want. If I really want to go neck deep into this, I'm going to get all three of these big boxes right here. Cool.
Legends.
And I'm also getting the vibe that now I should expect a pretty hefty shipping price, because assuming I'm shipping these three big boxes, which is good. Putting all these mental notes into my brain. So after the video, do I want it? Yeah, it looks cool. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I need to hear more about the original game and how highly rated it is and how people are loving it. They can't get enough of it, sort of thing. But yeah, can you do it? I typically feel comfortable when it's something like this, but as always, we go back here and we check in the about the creator section. Zach Wiseman is the lead designer and co-founder of Guildhall Studios. He grew up surrounded by games and has been working as a designer for over 10 years. His first game, Got 'Em, was released in 2007. At Harebrained Schemes, he worked as designer for Golem Arcana and its expansion. Oh, that's the I own that game. I think it's dead. I think without the app, it doesn't work anymore. Womp womp. And its expansions had worked on Shadowrunner Returns as well. At Calliope Games, he led the development of the Titan series. That was the really interesting one where they ran a Kickstarter to have you got 12 games from top designers over a year or something like that. It was a really interesting idea, if that's what I'm thinking of. As the in-house lead designer, collaborating with designers such as Richard Garfield, Angry Lang, Paul Peterson, and more. Yeah, and I love the fact that he's name dropping right now all the people that were in that series, because just having those names in this section makes it feel more legit. Whereas he's actually saying, oh yeah, they made games for Calliope, which is still awesome. He also designed Menu Masters and Adorable Monsters while developing the Titan series. So we got a whole bunch of people in here in the customer service, so we should have some fantastic customer service. But let's check out the previous projects, make sure people got their stuff. A Noble War, that one was canceled. Sea of Legends. Oh, now I know it's a 1 to 5 hour sandbox game. See how much information could be conveyed to me with words instead of just generic piratey things? Now I'm actually more excited about the game after looking at that. A Noble War. This one was trying to raise 50k. It did not. Strategize, scheme, and plot in the fast-paced, tactical area control board game for the creator of Sea of Legends. K. This one, for whatever reason, didn't quite hit the mark with people, so incomplete there. Let's make sure everybody got their games. Have people in the United States already received their copies? If so, I'm still patiently waiting to be shipped. Any updates? Hey, Chris, I sent you a private message. I believe I have not received my copy. I'm in Singapore. I've let our customer service team know about this. So 9 days ago, 7 days ago, 10 days ago, 9 days ago. This is what I'm wanting to see here. Good customer service. Is there a plan for an add-on with the new Kickstarter? During the Kickstarter, I assume there'll be an all-in gameplay pledge. I'm one of the unlucky backers whose pledge was not delivered due to a lack of games sent to the Australia fulfillment company. Sorry again. Yeah, this is great customer service. This is exactly what I want to see here. So, yeah, I feel comfortable on the can you do it. Like, I do believe that this is physically going to get to my house at some point, which is always a good thing. 122 comments. This one was clearly not a flaming dumpster fire. Is there a way to check if yeah, so we're good. So, can you do it? Yes. Feel comfortable. Do I want it? I'm getting there. And especially now that I know it's a sandbox game. That sounds awesome. That goes up to 5 players. That's fantastic. I still need to know the time length. Oh, now it's 1 to 4 players. I thought it was 1 to 5 players. Okay, maybe that's with the special expansion. Ahoy, partake in thievery, plundering, kidnapping, broadsided, boarding. I got it, theme. Your decision will make waves to the Caribbean as each player takes part in interwoven narrative adventures. Each choice matters within the hundreds of possible adventures for the characters, factions, and other players will all remember your actions. Wow! So this is like a persistent story Paths to Victory style game. So I'm getting like a Destinies style vibe here, which is, if that is the case, then I would 110% be kind of slathering that all over that main marquee image from the outside, because that's a really cool genre that does not have nearly enough games, especially nearly enough games that are growing and getting their expansion. So now's a great time to jump into it, assuming the original game was great, which we'll get on the Board Game Geek if you don't show me, if you don't woo me enough, because that's just my natural inkling. Like, how was the original game? Did people like it? From the moment the campaign launches, we'll be accepting concept ideas for a new faction. Wow! Okay, so we're starting off really interesting here. It told me some amazing information. Now I know why I need to come back. That sounds like a really cool idea. After a few days, we will review the submitted faction concept and select a handful of our backers to vote on. Throughout the rest of the campaign, we'll be working with our backers to design the faction. If the stretch goal is reached, we will even add it to the new Vengeance of the Empire's expansion. You know what I kind of like the idea of? Let me throw this idea out to you, and let me know if you know any Kickstarter campaigns that do this sort of thing. But what if you had your whole story, and your story obviously would change from time to time as you hit stretch goals and whatnot, and you update it. But what if at the very top there was just like a pinned note, especially in this sort of thing where it's like a piratey themed thing, where it's like, hey, here's the newest updates. They put the date next to it, and it's just like a little mini bite-sized bit of nuggets that you could find out when you come back to the page. And I think that would encourage people to come back to the page a little bit more, just to the main page, which Kickstarter would like. Just an idea, and let me know if somebody else does that, because that sounds really cool. Now is the best time to jump on board and explore the Sea of Legends, a streamlined rule booklet. Yeah, that's always good. That's one I always want to know about, because this feels like a passion project right here, and passion projects, rule booklets, they're typically hit or miss. Faction objective flow charts, an improved companion app that pushes player interaction, so they've changed some of the gameplay. Interesting. If you back now, you'll save $20 on the base game, $10 on any single expansion, and $40 on the base game with both expansion. That will leave you with much more money for grog or other appropriate beverages. Some stretch goals will be sold separately after the Kickstarter. We can get them for now. So this is like its whole section of why back now, and I feel like they did a solid job on this. Because that's one thing, people are always like, why don't I just wait to get it till retail? So like, hey, this is why we got stuff here. All right, returning crew. If you're a returning backer, we have a free upgrade kit that includes the updated rule booklets, new faction objective cards, Calm Sea cards, and any corrected cards for the first edition. Select the add-ons and update kit tier, and you'll just pay shipping for the upgrade kit. Wow, that is a half-point grade bump up, because as someone who is a returning backer, I say, oh, hells to the yeah, you're just hooking me up with this? That's fantastic. But as someone who's not a returning backer, I say, oh, hells to the yeah, that's great customer service. That's what I would have loved to have seen X company do on X Kickstarter project that I've participated in before. So that is a great thing, I think, to lead off with right there. I still want the price, but I love this. Awesome. Download the rule booklet. Early access. Download the Early Access Sea of Legends Volume 2 Cool. I can check out the app. Tabletop Simulator. I'm loving these clickable links. The RB treasure here. And now we're talking about the components. Includes stuff. Unimpressive. Here we go. Now we're zooming in on it. 4 Captain Minis and 4 Captain's cards. Excellent. Love to know the size of these. Lovers and Nemesis. Each character can be played as either a lover or a nemesis, and they must be... cool. Very cool. So we got 20 double-sided tarot-sized lover nemesis cards, each with their own asymmetrical abilities. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is getting me excited. Because this is just the expansion, right? No, this is the base game, Sea of Legends. Okay, that's what you're showing me. Got it. I'd love to see a price slapped on this one if this is a pledge level. I wonder if this one is a pledge level. Spanish Armada. So we get minis, 25 faction cards. I'd love to take a look at what these look like. I mean, I feel like we did such a good job spotlighting these ones. Granted, I'd still love to see this zoomed in a little bit. But not to see these cards, it's a little bit disappointing. Same thing with here, 37 faction cards, so we're getting a whole bunch of stuff here. A lot of minis, a lot of cards. I'd still love to know the price. 30 more faction cards. Oh, it does. It say 52 millimeters tall. I would convert that to inches as well, because I imagine the majority of people here are from the United States of America. Yep, 729 to 89 for the UK. So yeah, inches would be spectacular. British Empire, 52 millimeters. Great. Lots of stuff here. Lots of stuff. I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting a little bit scared at the price. I'm getting a little bit scared at the price because we are really dragging our feet at this. It sounds like you're telling mom about how good your day was, and you're like, oh yeah, I also punched the neighbor in the face, and he went to the hospital. It's like, did you see the cleaning? I feel like that. Convert those inches, 38 by 58 centimeters. I think that's like 3 feet. I really should know by now. Yeah, cancel student debt. Congratulations to a lot of people, including me. I think me and my wife just cleared off $30,000 in debt. So it's a 22-inch board. So it's not a huge board, and it didn't look like it was a huge board on the main video. Honestly, that was the one thing that I was like underwhelmed a little bit, but I was like, yeah, that board's a little tight. 5 fact and objection cards. Look at those. I would love to see, and this one, I would love it if we just did this so that every single one of these objective cards really got a spotlight so I could see how each one is different and flows. And I don't get that when we're zoomed out. Vengeance of the Empire. So this is another expansion. So I don't know if this is the new expansion. Oh, I think this is the new expansion. Okay, comes with more captains, more stuff, 6 event cards, 30 faction cards. Great. Just more versatility, more gameplay. Still want to know. Backer design faction. 6. Wow, that's fantastic. That's cool. Rise of the Ancients. Great stuff. Like, I just want to know the price now. Like, that's all I'm here for. And I'm going to guess the price. I'm going to go, assuming I get everything. I'm looking around. What would I say is a reasonable price to pay for something like this? Kickstarter reasonable. I'm going to go with $240. I think that's what I'm probably going to be sure. That's around $80 a box. They could say, hey, you're saving so much, it's going to be $90 to $100 a box in the future. But I don't know. That's just, in my brain, that's what I'm thinking. $1. So then we got $100 for the base game, $75 for the expansion. Oh, no, we're going to be even cheaper. $175, so $250. So both expansions, $140, and then $225. So right about right where I was. And yeah, I really hate the layout of this shopping area. Like, why couldn't this be on top of that really long thing that was just up there where you showed me all the components? I say $100 for that. That looks good, but I want everything. It's $75 for the expansion. Because once again, I was at $240. You're showing me $225. I feel like that's very Kickstarter reasonable. I still need to get to the shipping, which hopefully is nearly here. Bob Kale Captain set. What is this? Is one of the foremost modern pirate artists, and now 8 of his most memorable characters have been beautifully sculpted. So this is like, okay. So this is more for like Bob Kale fans, but still cool nonetheless for everybody. Neoprene matte. Inches and 20 by 30 inches. So now you are converting the currency. In fact, you left out the inches, you left out the centimeter people here, but I imagine they're probably smart. But then I imagine they're probably smart enough to figure it out. Let me know in the comments below. I'm actually curious. I'm a stupid American and cannot convert centimeters to inches. However, you European, well, I guess it's not Europeans, you everyone else in the world, can you convert your current centimeters to inches? Have we just forced the rest of the world to kind of do that, I wonder? Let me know about that. I find that very interesting. So 20 by 30 inches, that actually sounds pretty great. So now we got, stretch goals. So there are stretch goals. Great. Here's the thing. I feel like this is really buried down here. This is the first time I found out about these stretch goals at all. Which, once again, I go back to that main image, and I think that could really spruce that up. 16 stretch goals unlocked. Something like that. So 2 new crew cards. Great. 100 unique tentacles. Cool. They're going to look different. New tier 3 ships. So these look like pretty great stretch goals. Learn the ropes and Sea of Legends. You'll manage multiple adventures between your lover, nemesis, and captain. So now we're talking gameplay, loaded gifts. Ooh. Hot. I'm just looking for a gameplay. I'm looking. Ooh, is this a how to play? Beautiful. Hey. Awesome. Fantastic. How to play. I think that's a fantastic way to start. Endless adventures. Adventures come in 3 flavors and weight on every island of the Caribbean. Your Decapita's story arc immerses you in the deadly mechanics. This looks great. Rumors and whispers. You're never going to see the same game twice. Cool. There's so many different ways for players to win or lose that I doubt that any 2 games will ever be the same. Cool. Kind of the same thing here, but all right. 2 games have really caught my eye at PAX U. Sea of Legends is one of them. Why? Hey, there's this just feels like something you'd say in the as you're walking around a convention. Oh, what do you see that's good? Yeah, Sea of Legends is one of them. Like, okay, I'm gonna take that quote and put it on my Kickstarter page. Like, okay, cool, bye. Like that's such a weird one, especially considering this is for a game that's already out. I feel like there's probably much better quotes that mean more than this one. Beyond the game's impressive technological underpinnings, the gameplay for Sea of Legends is really well done, with quick turns that have meaningful and fun decisions. That's a great quote. Sea of Legends has the potential to be something truly special. Consider this one of my most anticipated Kickstarters of 2020. I understand you put it there because crackalope. But like, it's still like, oh, this is one of my most excited Kickstarters that's going to be launching. Like, no, you're this is the second edition. We're not talking about, oh, this looks like a great Kickstarter. We're talking about, hey, Tom Vassell gave this his seal of approval or whatever. That's what I want to see. So this is really, these quotes are making me a little bit interested. I'm going to go check this on Board Game Geek if you don't tell me the Board Game Geek rating. The artwork and minis spark my imagination, instantly creating opportunities for me to imagine myself sailing the high seas. This is looking like a cinematic romp that should entertain the swashbuckler in you. And then once again, this quote right here, and you might not have noticed it, but I do, because I am a reviewer, and sometimes I'm a previewer. Generally, if I give a game a Kickstarter preview, that means a couple things. Either I didn't get a good feel for the game because it's still in the progress, which I've had that before, where they're like, oh, you get to play about a third of the game because it's going to have episodic content or some crap like that. Or I just wasn't the biggest fan of the game, and I don't think most people are going to like it. At which point, then you have to try and think of quotes like this. And this one is literally just, and I'm not saying, insinuating that this person feels that way, but this just says, this is looking like a cinematic romp. This is this someone who didn't even play the game? Are we really using quotes from people who have not played the game? Not one quote, but two quotes. And there might even potentially be more quotes here. This is so bizarre. So our favorite pirate adventure, great. Sea of Legends, final thoughts, awesome. These are previews. Why are you showing me? Oh, wait, is this the expansion? This is the expansion. Okay. Expansion. Okay. Scared me for a second. Got it. Never mind. I don't know. This is weird. I'm going to go check out the pledge levels and see what the most popular ones are. $1, so 309 people just wanted to download the stuff or sitting on the fence. Okay. 606 people getting the expansion, so these are returning backers. Rise of the Ancients expansion, so 18 backers. So, so 18 there, and then Sea of Legends base game. So we have 21 people getting the base game. We have, for returning backers, this is if you want to get both the expansions. So we have 116 backers. So we have a grand total of 712 people who are like, I got to come back and I got to get this. And then base game and both expansions at 131. Now, I will say, I feel like that number is pretty low. That is typically the Kickstarter pledge that you're hoping is going to be your most popular pledge level when you launch this Kickstarter. That big all-in where you convince somebody that, yep, I need to drop the $225 on this. Let's see what the shipping is. So we're now looking at 47. So, whew, that's high. That's high shipping. Here's the thing. That feels like a very safe number. When I see that number, I feel better on the can you do it. However, when I see that number, I also don't feel as good about the how much is it. Because $47 to ship that, when in theory, this should just be a relatively large square box. With the padding on the inside, the whole shebang, if it's these 3 boxes put together in some way, shape, or form. Let me know if maybe because I imagine this is the kind of thing that CMON ships all the time, where they just stack them in various different ways. So 47, shipping does not feel great. The how much is it went from feeling okay to feeling it's okay. I don't feel like it's terrible, because at the end of the day, you're looking at $275 in the United States of America, which is the majority of people, for the all-in. And then I'm seeing $90 per game, especially when I know the expansions are $75 a pop. That's when my brain's like, ooh, that how much is it isn't a great one. It's not a great one. All right, so it feels like a safe one though, which once again is good for can you do it, but how much is it? So FAQ, no questions asked. Do I have any questions? No. I mean, why is shipping so high? Because shipping sucks. But, okay. Congratulations and thank you for helping us hit our goal in under 3 hours. The Sea of Rejoicing. Wow, 61 comments. That's fantastic. The seas and rejoicing, and now the fun adventures can really begin. We are speeding full set tail toward our first 2 stretch goals, 2 new crew cards. We are doing it again. Comment below on the campaign's comment section. Let us know which factions you think would make a fun addition to the high seas. And this is fantastic. I will say this is exactly what I wanted to see here. This is them getting people engaged. And 61 comments, that is huge engagement. There's projects with thousands of backers. Thousands, not 1,200, but thousands of backers who don't get anywhere near that level of engagement. So that is outstanding. Hopefully they can keep that up. And like I always say, when you ask people things, they will come in here and they will talk about it, especially if they're into the game, which you got, what, 600, 800 returning backers there? All right, but I did not see anything from Board Game Geek, though, which always raises my radar. It makes my spidey sense a little bit on that. So Sea of Legends, let's see what the original one was rated. No, it's 4,434. That's not bad at all. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Okay. Yeah, so that's odd to me that we wouldn't have some quotes or some stuff like that. Okay. Good. I would spotlight that. What is this? Sea of Legends 4,400. Okay. It's not bad. Wait, how does it play 5 players? Yeah, so that's my only question. I thought it was 5 players, now I think it's 4 players. But anywho, what's my final grade on this one? Do I want it? Yeah, the game looks cool. I don't feel like you sold me as well as I could have been sold, though, in a lot of aspects. Like, the only reason I knew it was a sandbox game was because I looked at your previous Kickstarter project where you use that verbiage in the marquee. Also, the shipping wasn't great. So do I want it? Yes, I do. I think it looks like a cool game. I'd like to know more, and there's tons of... There's videos down there. There's a how to play. So... Great. Can you do it? Yes, I feel comfortable. I feel like the shipping price is high, which makes me feel better on the can you do it, because you're like, all right, we're asking for $47. So worst case scenario, you're gonna get your stuff. So can you do it? Yes. And then how much is it? Price doesn't seem great. Does not seem great. But it definitely feels like one of those games that if you don't get it on Kickstarter, it's probably not gonna be one that you're gonna be able to get outside of that, or like a math trade. Like, they don't even have a retail pledge here. And they did start off right from the beginning, right from the jump, and saying, hey, why back now? And I felt like they did a good job here. I just felt like they lost some momentum from here, where I felt amazing about them. When I saw this returning crew, I felt amazing about them. And then we just dragged. We had the long, sexy scrolling shot, but it just got so long without any prices that it was just like, okay. Like, I love this shot, but it needs to be this should be just a massive shopping area, I feel like. Because at this point, I'm just like that. And then I get to the prices, and I don't think they're terrible, but the shipping definitely knocks it back a notch. So my final grade for this one, I think it's B. I think it's still a solid project. It looks really cool. I would spotlight a couple things. I would like, this is Garbo. Like, I mean, it's great. You tell me it's a reprint, but like that's not moving the needle for anybody, I don't think. Whereas, and also, I'm curious about the 1 to 5 players. So that's my FAQ. Why is Sea of Legends, maybe the expansion's only 1 to 4 players? Did it get bumped down? I don't know. This is once again something that should be answered in the marquee. Like, I should know the player count in the marquee. So yeah, I'm going to go with a B on this one. I still think it's a solid project and it looks good, but some slight concerns. So let me know in the comments below what's your final grade for Sea of Legends: Vengeance of the Empires. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 10,000. No, I already reached 10,000 subscribers. As I'm trying to reach 15,000 subscribers for some arbitrary reason.